Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jonah from Spotlight, and I'm thrilled to be here today. We're going to be talking all about TikTok, but not how to go viral, not how to blow up, none of those games that really are a bit of a gamble. Today, we're really going to be focused on how do you strategically use TikTok or Instagram, but focusing on TikTok to capture leads for your email list. And this is a big thing we at Spotlight see a lot of creators make mistakes down the road. It's so easy to get caught up in the follow like game that you don't actually keep your eye on the prize, which is first and foremost to grow your business. If you're using TikTok just to get followers and likes, that's all good, but that's not what we're talking about here today. But before we get started, hop in the comments, let me know you're here, where you're tuning in from, something you're excited to learn. And at any point throughout today's event, feel free to ask any questions. I will do my best to answer them as they come up. If I don't answer you right away, I promise I am not ignoring you. I'll save it, and I've put aside some time at the end to make sure I can answer any of those questions. And also, at any point, feel free to drop links to your own content, your own school, your Teachable school. If you're building things on Teachable, love seeing all of that. Hey, we got some folks tuning in from Belgium, from New York, joining from Seattle. Super awesome. Stoked to have all of you here today. And a couple more things, I will point them out throughout the event, but there are a bunch of additional resources linked in the description below. I'll make sure you know which ones are relevant for what, but if nothing else, if you don't have a Teachable account yet, it's completely free to sign up. You can do so in the description. I'll come back to that when it's a little more relevant, but just want you to know there's a bunch of additional value and tools for you linked in the description. So after the event, make sure to check those out. There's a lot of useful stuff that's going to be very relevant to what we're talking about today. And also, if at any point through the event you have to get up away from the computer, life happens, dog comes in the room, there will be a replay available. It'll be here on the Spotlight by Teachable YouTube. It'll also be on spotlightapp.io, our website, and it'll be emailed to you along with some additional resources if you RSVP'd to the event today. All of that said, I'm super excited to dive in. Looks like we got a few more people tuning in from Chicago. This is awesome. And once again, we are going to be talking about TikTok, but really strategically how to use it to collect emails for your business. Because if you've attended any past Spotlight events, you know that Spotlight and myself and Teachable, we are all huge proponents of email marketing. At the end of the day, it's what works best. All these other channels that you have, whether it's social media, whether it's in-person events, whether it's live events, all of these things need to point back to capturing emails, because when it comes time to sell, you do all this work building trust in all these other fields. But when it's time to really sell to your customers, email is going to be the number one best performing method for doing so. We've got tons of past events about email marketing, ways to grow your list, all that kind of stuff. So if at any point you feel like you need more information or anything I'm saying is just scratching the surface, go hop over to the Spotlight by Teachable YouTube channel. Take a look at all the past events we've done. We go into much more depth with all of those, especially regarding email marketing. So today we're talking top of the funnel, just how do we use these tools like TikTok to capture emails so that we now have followers that aren't just on our account, but they're actually engaged in potential customers. If you attended one of our past events about Instagram Reels, you're going to notice a lot of similar things, a lot of repeat content here. That's because I am a huge fan of both of these platforms working together. Anything you make for TikTok can be used for Instagram Reels, vice versa. So if you're in this world of video media, it is really valuable to use it in every way that you can. Don't just think of any one piece of content being valuable for just one thing. You can reuse it all over the place. That said, it looks like we got some more people tuning in. Excuse me, by the way. I don't know why I'm drinking tonic water right before an event where I have to talk a lot. Bubblies before events. There's a tip. Don't do it. We got folks tuning in from Denver, from Canada. This is awesome. So let's dive in. And like I said, throw any questions, any comments you have throughout the event. It is so valuable that we all are learning from each other as well. So I'm going to bring this up and let's dive in. Let me know that you can hear and see me all right as well. I want to make sure everything is looking good. But I want to start off with just some general mindset. And once again, if you've been to past Spotlight events, you'll have seen this stuff because it is worth repeating. So, when you are strategically using social media to grow your audience and specifically your email list, it is really important to have the right mindset. Your number one goal is to provide value. Providing value is how you get people's trust, it's how you get people interested in your platform. And a great way to do that is by solving problems. So if you can solve people's problems in 30 seconds to a minute, or at least get them further on the road to solving that problem, you have gained a loyal follower. And if you create a clear path for that follower to become a customer, you now have a customer as well. Another thing that's important is to be consistent. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. That doesn't mean posting every day. That doesn't mean posting every week or even once a month. Just setting expectations for yourself and your customers and then delivering on those. And last but not least, make sure to be authentic. It's really valuable to go out there and learn from others. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. So you shouldn't be sitting in a vacuum thinking, how can I do this? Look and learn from other people, but make sure to stay true to your voice, because in the end, your vulnerability is not a weakness, it's an asset you can and should use. Showing your true self to your potential customers is a major way to build trust, and it's how down the road you are going to build the trust it takes to actually sell products. So, if you're skeptical at all about TikTok, you may have seen it. I mean, if you've encountered the internet in the last 3 to 5 years, you have a knowledge that TikTok exists. You may have seen it though with the dancing videos or duets or all these things, and it may not feel comfortable exactly for your platform if you don't like getting in front of the camera or you don't like speaking. I'm going to show you a few ways you can still get around all of those aspects. And if you keep the core goal in mind, which is to direct customers to a lead magnet which captures their email, then you will be able to still have good success with TikTok, even if you don't have tons and tons of followers. It's about making those clear paths. But if you have any any qualms about it, I just want to get some things out of the way. First and foremost, the visibility on TikTok is still unparamounted. TikTok kind of broke the circuit. In the past, you would have to pay Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you'd have to pay them ad money to place your video in front of the ideal customer. And although you can pay for ads on TikTok, even without paying, TikTok is committed to delivering your content to people who want to watch it. They want to keep people on the platform. And so you don't have to worry so much if the people that see your content are going to like it. TikTok is doing that for you. So if you focus on making content that's engaging, that solves problems, that is valuable, it will get delivered to the right people. And you just want to make sure that they have a clear path to follow. So they're not just seeing the video, they're not just liking it, they're not just following you, they actually know and it's clear the train to become a potential customer. First, it's also really easy to make these things. I know there's a lot of people out there, and a lot of big creators do put a lot of time into their TikToks. However, there's a bunch of formulas and things you can do to make TikToks that are super easy to make. You can do it within the app. You can make them in minutes, at most in a half an hour. And it just pays off to have it's free marketing, essentially. You're getting your content delivered to people that the algorithm knows want to see it. And the another point is it builds trust. Getting into video media, whether your face is in front of the camera or not, although it does help to have your face there, it builds trust with your audience. It shows you know what you're talking about. It's not just a sales page or an email. You're engaged and you're out there creating content that is valuable for them. And the last point that I kind of already made relative to Instagram or other platforms is they're reusable. Whether you repost your TikToks on Instagram or as YouTube shorts, or even if you put them in your emails, video media is incredibly versatile. So it's worth making, not just to use one place, but with the intention that you're going to put it in many places. One piece of content can be cut up, reused, revamped, and repurposed in many, many ways. So you should always have that in mind. So, what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover some of the most important aspects really for any social media, but specific to TikTok. It's important that you know who you're speaking to. So I want to give you a guide to understand and give you a formula so you can speak exactly to one person. And you may feel in your heart of hearts that your brand can talk to everyone, that everyone should know what you're saying, or it's a huge audience, and that's fine. That's true. But it's really valuable and good marketing etiquette to focus on one person, one, whether they exist or not, that represents that greater audience. If you can speak in a compelling way to one person, all the people around them will follow over time, and you'll be making more impactful content as well as staying focused, not being distracted about who you're talking to, any of that. Second, I'm going to give you some tips for making great TikToks. I'm going to give you some examples, some formulas, and some tools that work regardless of whether you're comfortable in front of the camera or not. I'll make sure that you at least have some templates to go out and start making TikToks an experience. What's really important is to experiment. Play around with something for a set amount of time, evaluate if it worked, and once you find something that works, hit it over and over again. That is the TikTok strategy. Play around, find something that works, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I want to see, I got a couple questions coming in here. Um, have any super ninja like tips or templates, content planner for quick, simple, easy TikTok videos to make? Yes, I'll be giving you some of those tips. They're a little broad because I'm trying to make this for everyone so that everyone gets value here. But yes, I will absolutely be giving you that. And Sarah's tuning in a bit late, but no worries. Sarah, always appreciate having you here. So let's keep going. We're going to start with who are you speaking to? So this is a big mistake we see a lot of creators make when they get on TikTok. They're trying to talk to everyone, or they're just trying to make funny content. They're trying to replicate other people's content. But it's really important for your own sake, for your own time, to make sure you're not wasting time in anything you do, to know who you're talking to. The first way to do that is, who are you helping? Who is the person you want to help through a transformation? Who do you want to be your customer? If you want someone to be your customer, you're likely trying to solve problems for them. Who is that person? And I'll give you some tools in a second to narrow down on that. It's also important to understand, where do they hang out? If your audience doesn't hang out on TikTok, TikTok's not a good match for you. I'll say that right away. You can keep watching today, but if your audience isn't on TikTok, then you're not going to be speaking to them, and it doesn't make sense. This is an important question to ask anytime you think, I need to start a social media account. I see so many creators starting out their business just be like, oh, now I need a Twitter account. Now I need a Reddit. Now I need a Facebook group. Now I need all of these things. Only if it serves you. If your audience is on that platform, then maybe it's appropriate. But you really need to make sure to ask yourself that question. Also, take some time to look, who does your ideal customer follow? Go check out other creators in your industry. Take a look at what people follow them and what their comments are, what the personality might be of that person, what questions they're asking. That's what you should expect your audience to ask you when you do it, and you should use that person definitely as a model and an inspiration for your own content and platform. And also understanding their habits, right? So again, How often does your audience comment? Are they very engaged? Are they a little more passive? What platform are they on? All of these things are so valuable to understand. Hop in the comments. Let me know if this is all making sense, if it's resonating, but we're going to keep going. I want to give you some tools. So, again, if you've been at past Spotlight events, you'll have seen this next bundle of slides, but I like hitting it home. So, as well as working for Spotlight and Teachable, I have my own platform. I'm building courses to teach people to produce their own music. I found there's a lot of musicians who want to learn how to produce themselves, but get totally lost in the train of YouTube trying to figure out what it is they need to know. So, having decades of experience in the field, I know that I can distill this information and teach it in a better way. That's what I'm set out to do. So, this is David. David is a fabricated person. That is a stock photo that I found, but I have created this person, David, this fictional person who represents everyone I'm trying to help. So I've tried to wrap into David's little profile all of these elements. Hi, I'm David. I've been playing guitar for over a decade and have always relied on other musicians, producers, and engineers to record my music. I've been starting to mess around with recording myself, but get lost in the rabbit hole of YouTube, trying to figure out why nothing I make sounds like I want it to. Right? So I've tried to wrap in all of these things here. So, where do they hang out? Who do they follow? What are their habits? So David has been playing for a decade. So he's an experienced musician. We know that about him, but he's been relying on other people. So there's a problem there. And he's early on in his journey started to mess around. I want people who are early in their journey recording themselves, but get lost in the rabbit hole of YouTube. So we know David hangs out a lot on YouTube, trying to figure out why nothing he makes sounds like he wants it to. So everything I do on TikTok should serve this goal. Serve David. That is the number one goal. And understanding David's problem is vital as well. So if you know kind of the person you're trying to help, but you don't know exactly what problems they're facing or what problems they can solve, try and use these tools. First, reflect. Think of questions people have asked you in the past. That's a great example of where people already see you as an authority. Certain things people already see you as an authority. Next, reach out to your fans, your followers, your customers, your coworkers, your friends. Ask them what problems they are facing and then search in those spaces. Similarly, when you're looking for where and how your audience hangs out, search those spaces, see what problems they're facing. People love to publicly post their problems and their issues online. So you should have no problem finding what problems people struggle with and keep it simple. You're not going to be able to teach someone how to build an entire business in one TikTok video. You might be able to point them in the right direction for an LLC, though, or whether they should be a sole prop. You might be able to point them in a good direction whether they need a tax accountant or not, right? There's all of these smaller problems within the big problems that we can get to and solve in one little video or multi part video. Most important, focus on the transformation. So, David is a great guitarist. Awesome. That's who we're talking to. But he wants to be a competent producer. So we want to continue through our entire process to make content that helps David on that journey. And we're going to do this using our transformational mantra. If you've attended any past Spotlight events, Sarah, the Claymans, all of these folks, I know you've seen this, but I'm going to keep hitting it home. The transformational mantra is a tool that I developed and use to keep me on track, make sure that I'm never wondering what I'm doing. So if I think that would be a great TikTok, and I start making it, I need to double check, am I doing this for myself, or is this actually going to serve my business? Your transformational mantra is simple. You just say, I am helping David, whoever your audience is, who the problem they struggle with, become the transformation you're promising. So for myself, I am helping passionate musicians who struggle to produce professional quality music become skilled and confident producers. So I want to use this in my captions. I want to use this in the text on screen. I want it in the content of my video and my comments. I want it to be explicitly clear, even if I don't verbalize this in any TikTok that I make, that this is what I'm doing and this is why you would follow me. So anytime I'm sitting there going, what am I doing? I remember I am helping competent musicians who struggle producing their own music become confident and skilled producers. That's my goal. And everything I do should serve that goal if I'm using TikTok for my business. All right. So I just want to check in. I saw some comments rolling in. And this is a great question from Siri Sampson is saying, if we know who our target audience is, but want to verify that they're on TikTok, is there a good way to go about that? How can we search to see demographics? Ooh, this is a really good question. Worthy of stepping aside for a second. So, Siri, go and search in TikTok. You can search for topics or videos. Go search for videos in a topic. So, cooking how to's, music production. And then you can filter them, filter the last 2 weeks or so, or the last month, and top rated. That'll give you an idea of how well that kind of content performs. So if the top video is for myself, if I'm searching music production tips, and I find the top video in the last 2 weeks has 1.2 million views, that tells me that there is a robust audience for music production on TikTok. And it may not completely indicate everything, but you get an idea for the ceiling. What the ceiling is for the content in that genre that can perform there. So hopefully that helps. Let me know if you need any more tips there. But that is what I do anytime I'm interested, even in a smaller topic. So there's a ton of things I could do in music production. If I'm curious if people are interested in Logic Pro or Ableton, two different softwares, I'll search and see in the last 2 weeks, in the last month, in the last 6 months, how many likes or views do those top performing videos have? And is that worth my time to get invested in that topic? Because if you're finding the top videos have 100, 200 views or something in that topic, maybe because your audience isn't there. So hopefully that helps. Now, I want to give you some tips for making great TikToks. Oh, shoot, I have to reshare my screen here to make sure there's some audio because I want to actually watch some TikToks with you. And okay, we should be good. I just want to make sure you're actually getting to see TikToks and it's not just me listening to them. So now I want to get into some tips for great TikToks. And we're going to do this two ways. I want to give you some genres, some styles of TikToks that you can make, show you some examples. And then I want to give you a formula that'll be after the bold formula, which gives you a format to use regardless of the style of video you make, that you can always make sure you're creating something that captures attention, provides a solution, and then leads the customer elsewhere. So here's some TikToks that simply work. And these work great, especially if you're not up there to dance or entertain, you're not a comedian or any of this. I'm going to show you a few examples. So first is tutorials. Just walking people through a solution is a great way to do that. I do that a lot on my profile. I just show people how to do things in Logic Pro or how to produce stuff. Takes me very little time to do, and it is very valuable for people. People find it super useful. I know because they comment and like it and let me know. So here's an example of a tutorial. Let me know in the comments if this video comes through. I want to make sure that the audio is playing for you all.
Make your iPhone video look cinematic by going from this to this in under a minute. Let's go. First, change your video to slow motion, HD 120 frames per second. Now get closer to your object, find a nice angle with natural lighting, lock your focal point, then drag your exposure down until it looks something like this. See how much better that looks almost instantly. When you record, keep it slow and steady. I like to go in kind of like a slow art kind of movement. Now let's tweak the video to make it look even better. I added a dramatic cool filter, drag down the intensity, then do some minor tweaks, drop the highlights a bit, raise the shadows just a little bit, kick up the contrast. Brightness is okay. Now I'm adding a vignette. Whoops, not too much. Raise the sharpness a little, definition a little, and there you go. That's one quick way to.
Right? So that is so simple. Like it is a screen grab with a voiceover. So if you haven't used TikTok, you can upload a screen recording. You can screen record your phone or your computer, and then you can add a voiceover. So there is nothing. That the person didn't have to show their face. They didn't have to do anything. They targeted, okay, I can take something I do on my phone every day, do a screen recording of it, and upload it to TikTok. Super simple. That video has hundreds of thousands of views. And in their comments, in their captions, they make clear what the next steps are. We'll get to that in a little bit. The next one we can look at, right? So a tutorial can be anything you do in your regular day, whether it's on your phone or whatever, just walk people through it, let them know how to do it. Another one is tips and tricks. These can be similar, but a little different in how you phrase it. It's even smaller, more bite-sized things. So going to play this one too. We'll watch through it and I'll point out some of the things I love about it.
A few tricks that moms don't know. 1. You can turn the clip upside down when eating cakes. The cut cake is neat and even. 2. Make a hole in the spoon. Press on the prepared filling. The balls made this way are big and round. 3. Pour the egg liquid in a spoon and heat it on the fire. Put some stuffing in it. The delicious steamed dumplings are ready. 4. Stick the spoon with flour and fry it. You have a delicious eggshell. Remember to share with your friends if you like it.
So this is even simpler, right? And Kathy is asking, yes, I see it, but running 1.5 speed, is that a good technique? Kathy, it depends. You can play with the speeds. You can play with various things when you're actually making TikToks. So once again, it's important to experiment. I'll get into that in a minute, but I just want to point out some things here. This person, the reason I chose this is they're not even using their voice. They're using the text to speech at feature on TikTok. So you can write text on the screen and then tell TikTok to say it for you. So they've added some TikTok music and they're using the text to speech, but this should just show you how simple it is where you don't even have to be on screen. You don't have to be there. You're just showing some tips and tricks that work well and using the text and the features available within TikTok to make it work for you, right? Next one is personal highlights. So a lot of people don't use this enough, but once you start getting even just a little bit of traction, it's worth making some videos that highlight your journey and your story. This helps build trust with customers, and it's something that's worth mixing in. So I'm going to show you, this is one of my videos, and it performed really, really well. I ended up playing bass on Good Morning America. In 2015, I was playing in local bands around Seattle when a couple dear friends called me up and asked if I would be interested in being a roadie for an artist on her first breakout tour. Initially, I was hesitant because I didn't want to be a roadie. I wanted to be a rock star. I was looking for a change in life and signed up as a tracking engineer in General Tech. On that first tour alone, I got to see the behind the scenes of TV and large production live music, meet a whole slew of famous people, and most importantly, have some of the best times I've ever had in my life. Gradually, I learned from the other techs how to do sound and got to engineer at large venues all around the country. When the previous synth bass player left, Mary, who had heard me play, asked if I would like to play bass for her band. And that's right. So this is a video I made just scrolling through old videos on my phone, stitch them all together completely in the app, didn't do anything else in addition. And I put a clear CTA in my caption and in my comments here to sign up for more. I have a little PDF on I'm rebuilding it, but I had a PDF on like tips to be a touring musician. I got over 200 emails just from this one video, and it only got maybe 20,000 views. So just to show you how a little personally driven story based TikTok that took me 5 minutes to make, if you're clear about what you want people to do with that, can lead to capturing emails. And I am getting some questions here. Sarah's saying, I know when I do my tutorials for YouTube, I tend to bring down the speed of my clips, if that helps. Okay, so responding to the other, what was the made in the mode in the app, text to speech. Yeah, and Wendy's saying 200 emails. I know. I was blown away because this wasn't even to me valuable per se. This wasn't solving a problem, but people were seeing the inspirational aspect that I had this path that I wanted, but because of going in a different angle, I ended up getting what I wanted, even though it wasn't what I thought. And so the trust was built. They saw I could do it, and I was giving them a resource to do it themselves, and that led to capturing emails. So let's wrap up with the last one here, which is skits. And you'll see if you're on TikTok, skits are incredibly well performing. Basically, you can play out a situation with yourself. You can use text on screen, or you can actually talk, but you play out a situation, whether it's funny, whether it's something you encounter all the time. It's a great format and it works for any industry or any content. Anything you do where there's two or more people involved in any part of your business, you can create an entertaining skit that either educates, entertains, or is inspirational doing so. So I chose this one because it's from a creator that I really like, but I want to highlight this guy isn't even playing any of the instruments. I imagine he can because he does make music, but the point is he doesn't have to. He's using the audio in TikTok and just miming along to it, creating a funny scenario. So I hope you dig this kind of stuff. I think this stuff is hilarious and it shows how creative the platform can be too, right? It's about having fun, it's about enjoying yourself, and ultimately you can create content that is just enjoyable, solves problems, is fun to make, and so long as you provide clear paths to follow for your customers, I'll get to that in a minute, you are actually creating a mechanism that is free advertising for capturing emails, right? So, when you're doing any of this, it's important to remember your emotional target. So you have these formats you can use, but at the heart of it, every single post you make, every video you make should be one of these three things or a combination. Either inspirational, kind of like the one I did, educational, kind of like the first two I showed, the tips and tricks or the tutorials, right? Or funny, comedic. These are the three things that perform well on social media time and time and time again. It's just true. And if you can find any blend of all three within it, you're sitting on gold. But this is a great check for yourself. Anytime you set out to make something, choose a format, choose an emotional target, and then proceed from there. Couple tips, some do's and don'ts when making TikToks. Experiment. Really, experiment time and time again. It is so important to play around. And you see creators, I've seen this over the years, creators play around with a bunch of things. And then when they find something that works, they hit it over and over and over again and make that most of their system. However, don't feed a fed horse or beat a dead horse, right? Like if you're trying something and it's not working, don't keep doing it. Try something else. Use trending audio. So you can use any of the audio. That's one of the beauties of TikTok, whether you see audio in someone else's video or you just go search the audio available, you can use audio in your videos. And you can search trending audio on TikTok right now on Google and get a list of them. Even if you turn the volume all the way down or near down and don't actually have it playing, it will increase your views in the algorithm. It will help. However, don't get hung up on it. Don't spend most of your time researching trending audio. Spend your time making good content. Use hashtags. Please, for the love of all that is holy, use hashtags. They are how your content gets tagged for customers, and it's part of how TikTok knows who might be interested. However, don't use custom hashtags or don't use hashtags that you like. Make sure that they're hashtags your customers might use, right? So, for example, if I'm making a video, let me think about this. I want to give a good example. I wouldn't want to use hashtags like um music producer or musician or things like that. Those are hashtags people are going to look up if they're looking for music producers or musicians. I would want to do music production tips, beginning music production, things like that, things that people interested in learning music production might use. So hashtags are valuable, but also don't use custom hashtags. Don't do hashtag Jonah Cohen sound, hashtag Wendy Zelmer, hashtag Dr. Joletta. None of you, this is personal. I'm just saying, don't hashtag your own content with the hopes that people are going to take that hashtag and make it viral. That's not how it works. Not until you're so big. Yeah, there's the hashtag Taylor Swift. That's because everyone knows about Taylor Swift. Make sure to use duets and other features like that. Stitches, duets, all the different functions within TikTok. Experiment with them, play with them, put yourself in other people's videos alongside them. But also don't just sit there. There's enough content out there where it's just a duet of you watching someone else that doesn't really perform that well anymore unless you're already a personality the internet knows. Copy others, blatantly copy other people's TikToks and styles. Do it and make it valuable, make it your own, make it work for yourself, but don't be afraid to copy other people. Everyone is copying everyone on TikTok. The whole platform is built on top of using music for your own stuff. The whole thing is built off of some level of copying other people. However, don't be other people. You don't need to try and be like them. Look at their formats, use a critical eye, see how they use captions, how they use hashtags, and replicate it for your own content. And last but not least, have fun. This should be fun. I beat my head over this stuff for years, but once I started having fun with it, not only was it more fun to do, but people were responding better to it. They were engaging with it, they were participating in it. However, don't degrade yourself. And this is something that's a little more specific to musicians or some artists. I find a lot of musicians, when I tell them to have fun making content, they default to making fun of themselves as a way of doing that. And although if you're in a very specific niche of comedy that can work, in most cases, it doesn't build trust with your audience if you're bashing yourself as well. They want to see someone who's confident, who's passionate, who cares about what they do. Okay, I want to make sure I'm getting into any questions that are coming in before I do this. Elephant Journal is saying, do you have an example of how you do the CTA for emails at the end of these videos since TikTok doesn't link out? Curious. Yes, I'm going to show that to you. That's going to be on the scheduling and reusing or in the bold. Yes, we're getting to that. Stick with me, Elephant Journal. I'll show you how I use my train of content because TikTok does make it a little tricky sometimes. Wendy is saying, I offer a free course located on Teachable. Do you think leaving the free course is a good idea to capture all the emails? Yes, Wendy, you are thinking. Yes. So either linking directly in your bio and then telling people it's there in your videos, in your content, or linking to a link tree. I'll kind of show you like I do. Both of those work great. But yes, absolutely. This is the kind of thinking, Wendy. You're on it. You're in the right place. You're getting it. So I want to give you quick the bold formula. This is just a solution for if you're wondering how to structure a video. So what is bold? It's a logical template for maximizing your views, engagement, and story arc of your TikToks. So what does each letter stand for? B, use a hook, quick action, or attention grabbing phrase to capture the viewer. So this might be, here's 3 reasons why your music productions aren't sounding any good. Right? So if you're a musician, you know why this came up for you and you know the problem. Your productions aren't sounding good. Oh, offer a solution. So now you've captured their attention. You want them to know that you can provide a solution for them. So it might be, it all comes down to gain staging, groove, and expectation setting. Here's why. And then explain those things. So summarize your solution and then go into depth, which lead them to a conclusion. use if you are blank, but you want to be blank, then you need to blank. So this calls back on our transformational mantra, right? So if you're feeling like an amateur, but you know you could be a pro, you need to the last step, determine their next steps. Always include a call to action or logical path for the viewer to follow. So I've made it easy for you with my Logic Pro template. Click on the link in the bio to grab it, right? So we're essentially saying, here's 3 reasons why your music productions aren't sounding good. I've captured your attention. It all comes down to gain, staging, groove, and expectations. Here's why. I go and explain that. So if you're feeling like an amateur, but you know you could be a pro, the transformation, right? You need to go download this Logic Pro template and click the link in my bio to grab it, right? And this step is the most important and the one I see creators fall off on so often. They're afraid to say like and follow. They're afraid to say go check this out. And really, in all of this, we're not trying to get like and follows. We're trying to get people's emails. So we need to create a clear path. Create a clear path for David to follow, right? Our ideal person. So hopefully this answers your question here, Elephant Journal, how you kind of do this. When you post a video, either in the content itself, in the caption, or in the comments, or the text on screen, you tell people, check the link in my bio to get free resources for aspiring producers. They go to your bio, they click the link at the bottom of your bio, and they get to here is a link tree. I use toneden.io, but you can use Canva. You can actually build a link tree with Teachable. Just use a homepage and build a link tree like this with buttons. And then when they click that, it takes them to a form I built with my email service. They fill it out, and then they get a download of that template with a video explaining how to use it, right? Now we've created a logical train for people to enter our ecosystem. If they see me on Instagram, if they see me on TikTok, it's going to capture their email, which may direct them to a blog post, which may direct them to a new YouTube video. We're thinking of all of these things intertwined, right? But all of it leads back to capturing email. Everything you do, once you capture emails, you can develop your system for figuring out like how you nurture that audience and stuff. But at first, it is really important just to capture emails. And Kathy is popping in here. Can or should we use the same bold format on Instagram stories or reels, or is some version longer than 15 seconds better there on Kathy? The bold formula is my synthesis of a formula many people have used, and it's some summary of essentially capture attention, provide value, give a clear next step, the step of action. I put it into a little acronym and explained it in a way I hope makes sense. Use it on Instagram, use it in blog posts. That it comes from basic marketing psychology and how well videos perform on social media. So use it everywhere. The bold format and anything like it just works to make sure that at least you're making a video that has a purpose. So, if you want to know more about building your email list and growing and the specific systems and tools you need for that, go check out the past Spotlight event we did, how to build an audience you could actually sell to. I outline an email funnel, I outline the tools you need to have an email list, all of those things in depth, things I just didn't have time to cover here today. But go watch that event. Go watch. We've got a ton of events all around email marketing because it's so important. And if you need more information, go there. Hop in the comments. Let me know if you have any immediate questions, whether you're watching live or the replay. But we've covered it many, many times over in much more depth. So make sure to check out those resources there. And the last thing we're going to cover is scheduling and reusing. So one of the hardest parts about doing any social media is when you're sitting there wondering what what do I post? What am I supposed to post? And that's one of the trickiest things, but you can use these 2 tools to help you out. And actually, sorry, I want to answer a couple questions coming in here before I go on. Can you go over the time involved, the ideal allowed length of videos on TikTok versus IG? Yes. So Instagram, I believe, is capped at a minute. They're continually changing. TikTok is now up to 3 minutes. And I think there's exceptions, even if you upload from a desktop computer and not the app. So there's a lot of leeway there. I would say when you're starting out, shoot for that 15 to 30-second mark. That's where you can do something that's easy for you to make, that provides a lot of value. Get in there, play with the app, see all the different things. Um, all of those different things are going to make a huge aspect. And then Wendy is saying, "Do you have any videos on YouTube videos?" Wendy, not yet, but that is coming up in the coming weeks. I'm developing an event for that. How do you get YouTube videos more successful? Wendy, we are going to do a whole event on that. I want to focus on YouTube, and there's specific strategies that are very different from TikTok and other things, since YouTube is all about that 10 to 15-minute video range. It's a whole different animal. We're going to do a specific event about that. If you want to get notified about that event, like and subscribe to the Spotlight by Teachable YouTube channel. You can turn the notifications on, or also hop over and join our email list. It's linked in the description as well. And then you'll just get updates directly to your inbox about that. But that is a whole thing in itself. We'll have to go into detail. So I want to give you 2 tools to make sure that you actually have a content strategy. The first is a content strategy grid. So on the far left, you're putting down different types of formats. So you could put a skit, you could put if you wanted to reuse each of these things we talked about: skit, tutorial, how to, tips and tricks on the left. And then up at the top, you give yourself genres. So for me, it's music industry tips, music industry updates, works in progress, and then personality, things that just show me off. Now you fill these out with little ideas for content, and at least now you're never wondering what it is you could post. If you don't do this for yourself, you're setting yourself up to sit there wondering, what should I make a video on today? And that's just not a successful strategy for making TikTok. So go fill out a grid like this, and then put it across a calendar. Because when it comes to consistency, right, it's important to be consistent. So schedule out this post on music industry tips. I'm going to do it on Monday. I'm going to do the next one on Tuesday, Thursday, right? And all of this. Now, the last key, well, first I want to say both of these are available completely for free for you in a link in the bio. We've built them for you. They're a template. It'll automatically copy to your Google Drive, and you can use all of those right away. So go hop in the description in the bio, or if you're watching, we'll send this to you as part of the replay email. But you can download those for free, and they're extremely helpful tools, and at least to just get a flow of how it works, and then you can see if you need it or not down the road. Next, you need a scheduling service. Now, this gets a little tricky with TikTok because TikTok is not the most friendly here. So I'm saying Reels here because I do want to call out that some of these do work for Reels and some don't. So Planoly is great, but it's more geared towards towards Instagram. So if you're here more for Instagram technique or anything like that, Planoly is awesome. It's free to start, easy to use, content friendly. Although it can't auto post TikToks, and TikTok kind of makes it really hard to auto post because they want you to be involved in it. So they want you to actually open the app and use it. However, Metricool is what I use, and now you can as close as you can get to auto post TikToks. You can auto post TikToks with your own audio. If you're using other audio, you have to go in and edit at the end, but you can schedule all of your TikToks out and do very little work at the end to post them. And then the last one is Canva. The reason I call out Canva is because there's tons of beautiful design software and elements and tools in there that you can use to build your TikToks. And although you can't auto post to TikTok from Canva, you can auto post to Instagram, and Canva now integrates with Metricool, so you can build your TikToks in Canva and then auto post with Metricool. So I'm a big proponent of these 2 services, but ultimately you can even schedule posts just on the desktop app of TikTok. That's another great way to do it. Just make sure you're not sitting there going through the whole process of planning to making to posting a video daily. That's not sustainable. You should be able to sit down, make 5 TikToks at once in an hour where you have the time, then go plan those across a calendar and auto post them, schedule them to post so you don't have to worry about that consistency. Set yourself up for success. There is no reason you should be sitting there every day wondering what you're going to do. And don't be afraid to repost old content. This is my last point, especially with TikTok. Any video that performed well in the past, repost it. Or if you made a piece of content you thought was good but didn't get visibility, repost it maybe with a different caption, with different hashtags, a different sound. Don't make a new video every time. Take the content you've already made, revamp it, reevaluate it, mix it up, apply it to different things. Every creator who finds success is doing this because it is just not sustainable to do anything else. And last point, once again, have fun. Have a good time. If this isn't a good time, if it's not fun, it's going to show in your content. If you can't find a fun way to do it, then it's not the right space for you. But really, I can't accentuate this. If you're not having fun, people are going to see it and it's not going to resonate with them. So, everything we covered today, right? When you're going to post on TikTok, it's important to know who you're speaking to use some formats and formulas for TikToks. The bold formula is one solution. Bait them in, offer a solution, give them to a conclusion, and determine their next steps. Most importantly, always have a call to action, a next step, and make life easy for yourself by scheduling and reusing content. This is how we create a strategy that actually works. So, got a few questions coming in before we wrap up here today. So, I want to make sure, what's the most effective CTA for those of us new to TikTok who don't have enough followers to have a URL in our bio? Yes. So, this is a problem, right? You do need to say like and follow for more. So, like and follow for more is great, or direct them to a specific like comment is great. You can do a few things, and it's valuable to have like text on screen point to the caption, and the caption points to the comments. You can create these little chains all within a video that keep people engaged, right? So you could have text pop up on screen that's like, check the caption for the details. Then they click the caption, and the caption gives a little more, but says like, more info in the comments, and you've left a comment and pinned it to the top that gives more valuable information. You have to experiment, and it's really hard for giving you solid information here when it really depends on your audience and industry. But great time to experiment, and when you find one that works, latch onto it, use it over and over and over. um yeah, and you can't with less than 1K followers. I know you are struggling at first, but that's also a great time to say, okay, we're not too worried about capturing emails or any of the business aspect. This is the experiment phase. So use that opportunity to play with a bunch of different tools. Linda is asking, do you need a number of followers first before you can have a... Yes, you do. You need 1,000 followers. So it can be a little bit of a jump, but I'll tell you too, I put out 10 videos on my TikTok that got me to 200 followers, and then one video that got traction, and I made a bunch of videos like it. One video got me from 200 followers to 5,000 where I am today. So that is really what you're shooting for, and you can play around at that early stage, right? Another question, what and where can I see the bio? What is it called? Uh S- Stephen Wood, if you can specify a little, I'm not sure what bio you're talking. If you mean the TikTok bio, or are you talking the description for the YouTube video, please specify. I want to make sure I'm giving you the right information. I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. Um, TikTok does offer a business account. They also offer creator accounts. They have different advantages. So you have to check out, for example, a business account. You can actually add a link to your bio right away. However, you're restricted from using copywritten music, where a creator account, you have to get to 1,000 followers, but you can use that copywritten music. Copywritten music may or may not be a problem, but if you plan on using trending audio, a lot of that is uh is part that is kind of part of what you're doing. You can switch down the road too, so play around with it. You have to look at those and analyze for yourself what's really going to be the right fit. Um, the bio for the templates. Oh, yes, they're in the description below. So if you're on YouTube, make sure to expand the description below. If you are watching on the spotlightapp.io website, register for the event if you haven't already. We will send those in an email to you, Stephen. So just want to make sure, yeah, you're not going to miss those if you registered for the event. If you're on YouTube, expand the bio there or the description. They are in there. The description's right under there, and there's a little arrow next to it where you can expand it. And then Wendy is asking creator sound. Yes, especially if you're starting off. That's my opinion, but I just don't want to lead people the wrong way since there are a bunch of different ways to do it. All right. And then just to wrap up today, when you're ready to share, when you're ready to create a lead magnet, because mini courses are fantastic lead magnets, right? How do you capture an email? Someone earlier was saying that. Can I put my free course in the description? Absolutely. That's a great way. Teachable is here for you. You can create an account 100% for free, and it's not a free trial account. It is a free account. You can experiment with building a course. You can host coaching products. You can build an entire website on Teachable. And if you need any help getting started, we also linked in the description, built a mini course specifically to help you. Shows you how to build a beautiful homepage with Teachable that has a lead capture form so you can direct people to there. Say you're offering a newsletter or anything like that. And also, if you need any other advice or there's other aspects that you're searching for, please go check out the Spotlight by Teachable YouTube. Like and subscribe to it if you had a good time today. Make sure notifications are on so you get notified about future events. And check out all those additional resources in the comments. We really put a lot of work into making sure there's valuable next steps for you and that we're following our own advice, giving you next steps, calling them out. Hop in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful, if you have any residual questions. And also, just such a blast always hanging out with you. I love TikTok and am delighted by it. I've found a little success by follower counts, but over my course in TikTok with 5,000 followers over the last year and a half, I've collected over 500 emails making videos on TikTok. Some from videos that only performed a few thousand views or likes. So, really, if you have those clear systems set up and you are focused on solving problems and directing people to the next actionable resource, you can make it work for you without having millions of followers. It really is possible. So, thank you everyone for hanging out with me today. It was always a blast and is a blast hanging out with you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go out there, make some TikToks, experiment, come back to this video, comment, let me know how it goes. And if you need any further advice, go follow me on TikTok, Jonah Cohen Sound, and hit me up, comment on my videos. I'll follow you back. I love growing the community over there too. So it's been such a blast. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you all soon. See you later.